Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Welcome to Lavender Writes Live. My name is Bryan Dunncan. My pronouns are he, him, and they, them. I'm Lavender Writes Project Policy and Program Manager, Equity Trainer, and also your host for this afternoon. Joining me today is Ebo Barton, Director of Housing Services, also with Lavender Writes Project. And today we are here to discuss the new housing initiative for the Black gender diverse community in King County. Welcome, Ebo. And if you could just kind of introduce yourself with your name, pronouns, and a bit about what your work is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Ebo Barton. I use they, them, or he, him pronouns, and I'm the Director of Housing Services at Lavender Rights Project. I am diligently working on the house, which is Lavender Rights Project's permanent supportive housing facility that has the intention of housing at least 30 Black gender diverse individuals in King County that are chronically homeless or at risk of being chronically homeless. Um, and also to provide culturally relevant wraparound services.
All right, that is amazing work. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
And
you.
before we start, I just wanted to ask, because we do work with a lot of lawyers and things like that, does this presentation give folks any kind of attorney-client privilege? I know it doesn't with me because I'm a social worker, but what about with you?
I am not any kind of attorney at all in any way, shape, or form, and I can't give anyone legal advice.
All right, perfect. That's just one of those things we want to make sure to clear up, get out of the way.
I'm not even
Um,
sure I'm supposed to be giving advice in general. So,
oh my God, I definitely understand that feeling. But with that cleared up, could you tell us more about the house and why it's so important?
yeah, absolutely. So, as we know in trans community, Black gender diverse people, specifically Black trans women and femmes, are sort of are the most marginalized when it comes to poverty and housing, and all the different aspects that we take statistics on. And the house is a permanent supportive housing facility that is private, indoor plumbing, single unit occupancy, 24-hour resident access and wraparound services in the city of Seattle. And we aim to provide culturally relevant programs and services. And we also plan to provide low to no cost healthcare services and resources, as well as housing. And I think that one of the most important things about permanent supportive housing and the way it differs from emergency shelter or tiny home villages or some other type of temporary transitional housing is that permanent supportive housing is meant to be permanent. So these are long-term stays. This is for as long as you want to stay there, you can, is the bigger part of that, as well as having resources available to you that are relevant to you and your body.
All right, that is absolutely wonderful to hear that that's being worked on, and hopefully we'll have that very available soon for folks to be able to utilize.
Yeah.
Thinking about the plans that you're having and how that's come around, um, provided like everything goes like how you want, what are some of the future plans that you have for the housing project? What would you like to see it develop into?
Yeah, I would love to see, and this is like big dream, like dreaming very big, is that I would love to see more sites like this in Washington State that are available to the wide range of gender diversity that's in Washington State, as well as specifically in rural areas. And I'd also like to see this become a community space as well, where folks feel comfortable coming to this space to congregate or commune or have meetings even. And so what I would love is that getting this solidified as it needs to be with other stakeholders and other partners, and then being able to make sure that it is a place that our community wants to come to.
Okay, that all sounds like excellent plans to move forward to, and those sorts of community initiatives and spaces are desperately needed. And truly, thank you for those wonderful, concise, but very thorough answers. And just really quickly, just before we wrap up, is there any call to action, any way the community can support the initiative and the house that you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, so I've actually been thinking about this question a lot, is that folks are always asking and how can they help? And I'm just a firm supporter of this idea of staying in your lane. And this is not to like separate folks away from wanting to help any means, but using what it is that is your wisdom, your expertise, your experience, and applying that to how can I help folks. And it doesn't have to be just us. There are plenty of other organizations out there doing really great work that you can apply your wisdom and expertise to, that also helps us as well, right? As long as we're all getting what we need and having resources and having folks want to help us, we can all help each other, so that we're not all exhausted spiritually, mentally, energetically exhausted, and or just without the resources in order to help the folks that we need to help. So I think that the call to action here is using whatever it is that you feel like you have that is valuable to help our communities move forward. And then also, if you're the type of person that likes to talk to government agencies, specifically talking about gender diverse specific housing, is what we need. And it's not just that we need housing, it's that we need things tailored to us, because all of the different ways in which oppression sort of collides in in our lives is the reason why we need our own services our own way in the ways that we need them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for those calls to action. And thinking really quick about the house specifically, is there anything folks can do for that?
Yeah.
In addition to the calls to action that you were going for and requesting?
Absolutely. So we do have the registry, our housewarming registry, if you will, on target.com. And it's tgt.gifts/BTTF. So that's tgt.gifts/BTTF. And there you'll find, I think Target is having an issue with their addresses at the moment. And so our Tacoma office address is at the top of that registry, and that will be the address that you'll send it to, if you would like to go that route. And we've our drop-off sites, our live drop-off sites are now closed. So because we don't want to spend too much of our partners areas for, and want to make space for others to use those areas as well. So but if you do have like a large item, or if you're having trouble sending, or if maybe online is just not your thing, please contact me. I'm happy to coordinate something with you to make it more easy for anybody that really wants to help us. I also want to say that if you see something on the Target registry that perhaps is cheaper somewhere else, or maybe you just weren't at Target and you were at a competing big box store, feel free to get it and we'll coordinate something, or just send it to our Tacoma office. And I really appreciate everyone's generosity. We've received so many things over the past month or so. And it's just such a wonderful feeling to know that the community's behind us and really wants to help to make this house that we don't necessarily have yet will be warmed with the community's love and contribution.
Thank you so much for telling folks so they can help in that way. And for folks who want to help but may not be as monetarily inclined, even sharing this video around, passing the link around to folks can definitely help. Ebo, thank you so much for joining us today and filling us in on the house, why it's important, and what folks can do to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for providing this space. And I will probably see folks either somewhere online in a box or in community somewhere.
All right. Thank you so much once again. And everyone, have a wonderful day.